Always so happy. Always so happy. Smiling brightly.
Happy to see you, Maharaj.
You also. You have the proper name. Hari Ananda. Always very joyful in Hari service. Huh? Nice.
Maharaj, what is your health? You find health?
Now, okay. Better? Thank you, Prabhu. How is everybody there? Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Krishna Kesava told you had an art exhibit?
Krishna Keshava Prabhu Arati.
Yeah. No, art exhibit. I don't know how to say it. Painting exhibit.
Okay. Painting.
Huh?
Dandava Prabhu Keshava.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Harinanda Prabhu.
Haribol,
Dandava.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, let me put the computer there to become better. Vem pra cá. Aonde? Vem pra lá que eu vou colocar o computador pra cá, daí dá pra ver tudo. Não, vai pra lá. Não, é que eu preciso digitar. Yeah.
Hi.
Não, yes.
Dandavas Maharaj.
Haribol.
Haribol.
So nice. Yeah, so nice to see your smiling faces.
Vamos ver os seus rostos sorridentes. Hi, Maharaj. We that are happy to see you.
Yes. We wait for this moment.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. You are very kind to me.
São muito gentis comigo.
No, it's really, you are so special, so nice.
Hare Krishna.
You're our Guru. Siksha Guru.
Acho que nasceu assim um pouquinho pra cá. Fica melhor.
Como ele passou essa semana?
How was your week?
How was your week? You are better?
Right. Yes, I'm feeling better.
Oh,
I found a new recipe, a new cure for stomach. The doctor gave. Do you know this cumin seed?
Yes.
Cumin seed. She
Yes.
told take 1 teaspoon of cumin seed and chew that.
Yeah.
Then take a cup of hot water.
Okay.
And that makes your stomach feel very nice.
Very nice, Maharaj. Let me translate to Harinanda.
Huh?
Hay una receta para quedar con el estómago mejor. Tú pega las semillas de cominho, come una cuchara de semillas de cominho y después un copo de agua caliente. Toma, que eso ayuda mucho en el estómago. Yes, Maharaj. Very nice.
nice.
Yeah. So now share some cures with you that I have from
Yeah.
the doctor here. Do you have an Ayurvedic doctor there?
No, we do not have in Brazil. It's really difficult to find Ayurvedic doctor here or medicine.
Oh,
Really difficult. Sometimes you have more common, like ashwagandha, you can find it, Brahmi, Arjun, but not many different.
You can order it online.
Yes, we can try, but Brazil has some restrict permissions to get medicaments inside Brazil or plants. So sometimes the police take it and throw out because not allowed.
Even herbs.
Even herbs.
Oh, I see. Dhanyavad, Uma Devi.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Dhanyavad.
How are you, Maharaj?
I'm good. You have a big pipe over your head.
This one I'm sitting in the staff room.
At work.
Mexe lá no Bluetooth.
Você não quer pegar aquela televisãozinha?
Mexe lá.
Era melhor,
Fica no
né?
mouse.
A gente via melhor.
Eu
So
vou-
this week was very interesting, huh? What's that? Niriha Maharaj made a nice video.
Yeah. Yes. Que esta semana foi muito interessante, que Niriya Maharaja ha hecho un bueno video.
Pero ahora algunas personas están diciendo por internet que el video ese es una fake news, que eso es una mentira, una composición y que fue todo planificado por Shanta Maharaj. O sea, que no hayan que inventar.
What is that?
And at the same Maharaj, some people on internet are saying that the video is fake, that was created by Shanta
Oh.
Maharaj.
Yes. What to do? They say that. Sridhar Maharaj always told that everything is based on faith.
Yeah.
Your knowledge of things is based on your faith, not on reason, not on the facts. Everyone will see according to their faith.
May I translate, Maharaj?
I'm sorry?
Can I translate?
Yes.
Ok. Así estaba diciendo que Srila Sridhara Maharaj costumbraba hablar que todo es baseado en nuestra fe. No es baseado en fatos científicos, tampoco son baseados en comprobaciones o algo así. Sí, siempre nuestra fe.
Yeah. Even in science, they say there's no faith, but every scientific theory has some what they call axioms in the beginning, axiomatic truths that they accept before they make any scientific statement. And they have their complete faith in those axioms, and they can't go beyond that. Axiom means you have to accept it as it is.
Que mismo en el campo científico hay también los axiomas en el inicio del proceso, que tú tienes que tener la fe, mismo que hablan que no tiene que tener fe en la ciencia, hay necesidad de tener en estos axiomas a la fe.
And everything is based upon those axioms. And then they make their theory. Even Euclid, you heard of Euclid, the mathematician?
Yes, I heard something about Maharaj, but not deeply, just the name.
Euclidean geometry, huh?
Yeah.
Euclidean geometry. He is the one who developed the geometry. And he starts also with axioms. He makes out some certain axioms. And from there, he made his geometry, theory of geometry. But in the recent times, not long ago, they challenged his axioms. And they said, you can also have a different type of axiom, and you'll get non-Euclidean geometry. And that's very popular today. Now people have all types of geometries based on manipulating the axioms. Hard for you to translate that. It's very technical. No.
I can try.
Okay.
Así Maharaj estaba diciendo que, por ejemplo, mismo na geometría, Euclides, que es considerado como si fuese el padre de ella, la geometría, él empezó con algunos axiomas y así se construyó toda su teoría geométrica. Pero hoy se está contestando y usando axiomas distintos, o que se llega hasta la geometría moderna, por decir así, distintas, con distintas maneras.
So everything, all based on faith, scientific, mathematical, philosophical, all based on faith. In the beginning, there must be faith. And Rupa Goswami told also in Vaishnavism, Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu-Sanga, there's a famous verse. That Ado Shraddha says, first there must be faith.
Sí. Y mismo del Vaishnavismo, Srila Rupa Goswami habla que todo en el inicio tiene que tener fe. Eso es la base de todo.
So what is that faith? So important. What is that faith? And who is in control of that?
Sí. Entonces,
Yes.
entonces, ¿cuál es esta fe? ¿Y quién está en el control de ella?
Does it come from us or does it come from Krishna?
¿Eso viene de nosotros o viene de Krishna?
Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo in Bhagavad Gita. I am the source of everything. And our faith, our devotion, everything comes from him.
Entonces, Señor Krishna habla en el Bhagavad Gita que yo soy la fuente de todas las cosas. Así la fe, la devoción y todas esas cosas vienen de ello.
And we are led by our faith. We are led, our faith leads us. Whom we have faith, what we have faith in, that is what leads us in our life.
Así, de acuerdo con que nosotros tenemos fe, eso va a ser nuestra guía. Si tenemos fe en una cosa, eso va a nos guiar hasta un local. La persona, el objeto que nosotros tenemos fe.
Yeah. Dhanyavad Muni Maharaj. Haribo.
Dandavat Maharaj.
So, Hare Krishna. So, Krishna is controlling us by our faith, and he is leading us in different ways. And but when we come in contact with the Vaishnava, with Guru, somehow our hearts can change and our faith can change. And we can be directed by Guru and the Vaishnavas, who may not have the kind of faith we have in so many material things, but faith in the spiritual, the transcendental world. And we give ourselves, we surrender ourselves not to our own heart, our own faith, but to the faith and heart of Gurudev, the will of Gurudev and Vaishnava.
Así nosotros cambiamos nuestra fe cuando llegamos hasta el Maestro y hasta el Vaishnava. Y nos llegamos a él con lo deseo de tener una fe que no es nuestra fe, pero en la fe de ello, con lo deseo de ello. Así puede se cambiar.
Yeah. And a very mystical and divine, transcendental event in our life. Not many people have that experience. They follow their own faith without coming in contact with someone who can change their heart. So they remain forever following whatever conception they have without knowing anything outside of that, beyond that.
Y así es una experiencia trascendental y muy mística eso que sucede. Y algunas personas no pasan por eso. Entonces siempre quedan con la misma fe que se tienen.
And at first, our faith in Gurudev may even be not so strong. And we have going back to faith in other things. But by association and sincere listening and serving, then our faith can develop more and more strongly in Krishna and in the world of service, the service world, that's free from all the other engagements we have developed a faith in of a mundane existence.
Sí, así gradativamente nuestra fe se cambia conforme hacemos el servicio y quedamos con estas asociaciones. Maharaj, give me 2 minutes. I will try to get the other computer to write so I can translate better. 1 moment.
Okay. Okay.
O meu? Quer que eu pego a visor?
Maharaj, how are you doing?
I am okay, Maharaj. Just I talked with Shanta Maharaj and other devotees here, and so it's okay, no problem today at least.
Okay. Shanta Maharaj is here? What
Yeah,
is
he
that?
just locked
He
his
just
room.
signed in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are back.
Okay. What is that? You have a translator?
No, a tablet, so I can write, and then there
Oh,
I cannot stop you so much.
I see. Dhanyavad, Santa Maharaj. Dhanyavad.
Hello, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad to all devotees. We got little delayed, Maharaj, because we were discussing about some of the needful things that has to be done. So we got little delayed.
What are you saying?
We got little delayed, Maharaj, because we.
Oh,
we were
delayed.
discussing-
Yes. Yes, I know. I know. Yeah. We have to keep our focus on one point. What is Krishna? What is Krishna? Want from us? And what does Gurudev order for us to do? Does Gurudev want? And we have to keep our mind fixed on one point. We can't keep changing. Not good. We change according to the circumstances. They're not focus. They're not proper focus in Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means focus your attention. Focus your senses. Focus your mind on Paramatma Ishwar. That has to be our focus. We don't have anything to do in this world. What doing in this world is not our function. That is the illusion that we have something to do in the world. That is the illusion.
Gopal is still translating aloud.
Maharaj, I will close my audio so I cannot cut you when I translate to Haryananda, okay?
And you're translating.
Yes, I will translate and send to him by cell phone.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Very good. Thank you. Those who are changing their mind frequently, changing their direction, they are not practicing properly. Not a defect. We don't choose our service. Gurudev orders our service, and we have to follow. That is proper. That is proper practice of yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, it's called chanchal. Chanchala. You know chanchal? Chanchal means?
Lakshmi.
What's that?
Lakshmi is Chanchala.
Huh?
Lakshmi is called Chanchala.
Chanchal?
Yes.
I don't know that. But chanchal means changing.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
Maharaj. Her name is Chanchala.
Always changing. Like the wind blowing this way, that way. Always changing. Not bhakti. Not yoga. We have to make our faith and our determination strong in the service of Guru and Krishna. And then the mind does not, once that comes, that's called nishta. Once that comes, we cannot be easily dissuaded in other directions. Because in that fixity, there's something holding us in that place. In that connection with the devotional plane, dedication plane, this plane of surrender, there is something holding us there. And that is called ruchi. There's a taste that comes from that. And there's a taste that leads us there to that fixed position. So if we are really engaged in serving, we are real servants, real devotees, then we'll be situated in that platform. We'll experience that. No matter what happens, we don't change. Not that we are stubborn, think I am right, and I never think of anything else. They're not based on the mind. But it is sincere desire to surrender and serve Gurudev, his order, her order. And know and make this the final life of all lifetimes. Make this the final. Don't think I can live this life, the next lifetime, do something else. But your final life, to finally wind up the whole material conception of life. Bid goodbye to the mundane world, once and for all. And focus all attention on going back to the spiritual domain, world of dedication, service to Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and all the devotees of that world. That has to be felt deeply within the heart, within the soul, everything. And Gurudev is meant to inspire us to achieve that goal. There we can find the genuine Guru, who is encouraging us to go there and helping us and nurturing us to situate ourselves in that plane. It's serious business, Krishna consciousness. Very serious. As Sridhara used to teach, or is teaching, I should say, die to live. Die. This is a serious thing, die. No? Die. Die to this world. I heard once, Sridhara also talks about this in his own way, that the other world is this world properly understood. The other world is this world properly, with proper conception, properly conceived. We take everything cheaply. The world around us, the environment cheaply. Then we'll see it in that way. But if we understand the divine potency by which this world is manifesting, not as matter, but by his potency, it is part of that. Nothing is separate from Krishna. Nothing is separate from God. There's no competitor to God. You may say he's the supreme, but that doesn't mean that other things are there that he is better than. No, all those other things, that supremacy means that everything is infused by him. It's produced by him, has its origin in him, has its substance in him. So what can be, what we call mundane is the way we conceive of him, or misconceive of him, and how he is doing everything, manifesting everything. Anyhow, that has to be properly developed. Our consciousness, our intelligence, everything, our senses have to be properly trained and developed in order to come to that proper vision. That is the process of Bhakti Yoga. Sadhana Bhakti, Raga Bhakti, all those different stages. And we may come to the higher realization by the grace of that higher world. And we have to be willing to wait, like that Chataka bird, waiting for the rain. If it doesn't come, we don't run away. We look for a mud pile, mud pile. What is that? A puddle in the mud. We don't. Yeah, we don't look for that. For water, we keep our head up. Some electric bolt comes down, hits us in the head. The bird. It may be shocked for some time, but he doesn't stop. He doesn't think, oh, this is so heavy. I can bear this kind of life. I'm always getting shocked with a bolt. It's killing me. But still he doesn't stop. No, my only source of water is there. That kind of one-pointed. But that has to come from our heart. That has to be so sincere, deeply felt, and deeply realized in order to have that mood. The whole world may crash on my head, but still I don't change my intention to serve and satisfy Puri. That kind of faith, they say, can move mountains. You know that story of Muhammad? He did not want to go to the mountain, but the mountain came to him. Who thinks that the mountain will come to me? And the kind of faith, if you have it, it says faith can move mountains. Ever heard that saying? Faith can move mountains. It can change you and it can change the world. just with faith. Nothing but that. Very important in spiritual life. They're not mundane persons. We are in contact with this special energy, spiritual energy, transcendental energy that comes to us through Gurudev and the Vaishnavas are of that order of faith. We have that high order of faith. Then some energy comes down to help us when we're in that condition. And wonderful to be in the association of the Vaishnavas, the genuine Vaishnavas. They are there to encourage us, to show us affection and encourage us. I don't know what we would call these others who are always trying to criticize and sow hatred and division. Do we call them devotees also? I don't know. Maybe everyone is a devotee in that case. And they're all serving Krishna some way or other.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Govinda Maharaj used to say, Jhogda koro বা ঝাঁটি বা করো কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি ছাড়বে না. You may fight or not fight or whatever you do, no problem, but never leave the Krishna bhakti.
Oh, okay.
It happened something, and when Govinda Maharaj was there in Mauritius, there are like two leaders, they have some problem. Then the two leaders have made two temples. So Govinda Maharaj is telling, now we were not having temple there, but now two temples came up by this incident. I am telling that whatever you do, but you should continue service and do so.
Yes, possible. According to our limited vision, something may seem not correct, but then Krishna's got his own vision and what he wants to accomplish. Sometimes I become very angry within my own heart about certain things and certain persons. But I don't say it out loud because I realize that is my particular feeling and it is not our behavior to act like that toward others. By Mahaprabhu's instruction, Gurudev's instruction. And we try to see what is our own fault and that we're not the controller. Krishna's in control. All these things I consider before trying to say something about someone or another. And generally don't say anything, but try to praise, find some place to give some respect to others because they are also Krishna's parts and parcels, that they're his servitors. Like this, we have to make some kind of adjustment within ourselves. And it's very hard for me to understand those who can't do that. Well, somehow they are overwhelmed with their thoughts and desires and feelings. And they do all these things that are not so acceptable in the tradition of Vaishnavism. Seems to me, I don't know. They find some excuse for that. I think maybe they are testing our own purity of commitment to those principles. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on this situation. Shanta Maharaj, what do you have? You have so many things to talk about and tell everyone. What is your idea about this?
I was only thinking that Srila Maharaj faced some, lot of more difficult situation than what is at present. So at the time he compiled the best thing, the Prapanna Jivanamrita. So I was just remembering, how what you can say, great transcendental meditation that we could do. So I was thinking about different types or different feelings of devotees on Saranagati, that Prapanna Jivanamrita, that is so nice meditation he was doing.
Yes, it takes a lot of commitment to surrender to those principles. Oh, Sharanagati. Surrender. Surrender. And you know the devotee Rishabhadev?
Yes,
Rishabhadev
from America.
from America?
Yes, yes.
Have you heard of him? Sadhu
Yes, Maharaj.
Gopal? No? The one devotee from America, the name Rishabhadev, the husband of Kumkum Dasi, there in San Jose. He was having some health issue and was dying. So he wanted to go to Navadvip for his last days. And he went there. That was during the time of Govinda Maharaj. And he told, I want to die here in the mud. And then he went there, and he was, in his last moment, Govinda Maharaj came, and he was able to look in the face, the eyes of Govinda Maharaj, and leave his body while the devotees were chanting. Anyhow, there's many different little details, very nice of that story. I just want to summarize. Because Govinda Maharaj thought he is just like Haridas Thakur. And Haridas was passed away. Mahaprabhu was there, and he was looking in the eyes of Haridas, and in this way he passed away. And Mahaprabhu lifted him and danced with his body and washed it in the ocean. That's like that.
Even Samadhi also, Maharaj.
Huh?
Even Samadhi also.
And
He has
Samadhi.
given.
Yes, and
Yes.
Samadhi. Huh?
Then
Anyhow,
second also.
anyhow, that devotee, Rishabhadev, had a very auspicious passing. But he once said, one devotee mentioned that he once told that it's not about you. He told like that. This life, your life, it's not about you. You are living in this world, but it's not about you. Everyone thinks their life is this, they're the center of their life. how somehow it's involving them in so many different things, so many relationships. And if somebody criticizes you or praises you or whatever, we're looking for that type of life where the world is my oyster, as they say. But he said, it's not about you. This is the main lesson to learn. Not about you and not your life. I always tell, we call it his story. History. You know, the word history, his story. It's his story, not my story. Nobody ever talks, nobody ever studies my story. They study history, no? Nobody's interested in my story. So it's not about us. Not about you. Let that die to live. That means die to live. You are not the center. You are not the important element. That is Krishna. And we want to develop that consciousness. Everyone is into my consciousness, the self-consciousness, but devotee is into Krishna consciousness. And going in that direction of development of subjective evolution of consciousness from individualized consciousness to the universal consciousness, the whole. But it's not impersonal, is it? Not impersonal. The whole is also conscious. The qualities of the universal are found in the particular. The pizza pie. You have a pizza pie. The pie is a pizza. Then the slice, what is that made of? So the piece is coming from the whole. Gets its qualities from the whole. If it was apple pie, you can't get a piece of pizza from the apple pie. So the quality comes from the whole. We have to understand what is that we are part of. And then we will understand what is our true nature and that conception and that part and that understanding. All right. Do we have Kirtan? Santa Maharaj, would you like to chant?
Last time you told that Jadugopal should chant. I think he
Kirtan?
learned. Yeah, Hare Krishna Kirtan.
Now what?
Maharaj, give me 5. You can sing, Maharaj. I'm translating. 5 minutes. I'm finishing the translation.
Okay, you finish.
Okay,
Yeah.
one moment.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, you told me.
Okay.
It's a wish-fulfilling pie that you can get apple or pizza.
Should we start?
You can sing the Hare Krishna Kirtan.
Okay. You say so, I will do it. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Sri
Advaita
Gadadara
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Sri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gora Bhata Vrinda
Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango.
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari.
Nitai Gauranga, Gaurari.
Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari.
Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari.
Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari.
Gaura, Gaura Hari.
Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari.
Nitai Gauranga Gaurahari.
Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana.
Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana.
Jaya Sachinandana Gaurahari.
Jai Sachinandana Gaurahari.
Nitai Gaurahari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaurahari Bol.
Nitai Gaurahari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaurahari Bol.
Nitai Gaurahari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaurahari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaurahari Bol.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru
Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Gaura Pramanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Jai Bhakti Vigyana Muni Maharaj ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai Go Premanandi.
Hari
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Jai.
All glories to the worldwide devotees.
Jai.
Jai.
Jai. Jai.
So, one day, huh? Vandana, page 38.
Página 38, Vandana.
One day, everyone there? Can say it
Yeah.
together?
Yes. Yes.
One day, Sri Guru, Sri Yuta Parakam, Sri Guru Vaisnavamsa, Sri Rupam, Sagrajatam, Sagana Raghunatamritam Tam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Visakanvitam Om Agana Tinadandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Puja Shri Guru Varga Vandita Mahabhava Vanditaya Sada Purva Parya Parampara Prachalita Pragya Purta Krite Bhaktir Nirmala Nirtarasya Nibritam Samrakshakam Sadaram Vande Shri Guru Devam Ananta Shira Acharya Guru Pista Sapurakam Guru Ganar Ashishya
Sambushita
Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nibunam Sri Patanam Govinda Vidam Ujvalam Bharatanum Bhaktanvitam Sundaram Vande Vishwagurum Chadivya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanam Prasannavaranam Palarkache Shitam Sandrananda Param Sarikavaranam Vairagya Vidya Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Vishwabhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vande Tam Subhadam Adeka Sharanam Ashishwaram Sridharam Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gauravanvaye Bhatto Manurima Bhagavate Yogora Sankirtanai Mayavada Tipodoragatan Uditya Jivanam Krishna Prema Sudabhinam Sukham Pradam Namo Gorkishwaraya Bhaktavadu Murtaye Gorangri Padma Bharinaya Radha Bhavani Sevale Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shashragya Sabratam Radha Rasa Sudani Gaura Raja Shitashi Shire Vaishnavayar Vinam Jagannatha Prabhu Prema Pimrita Vaishnava Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Bhaktavataram Namami Bhakta Namo Mahavaraya Krishna Prema Pradaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Namaha Jayatam Bando Mama Manda Materati Mat Sarvasva Dhammoja Radhamana Namo Divya Dvinaranya Kalpa Durvada Srimad Ratnagara Sriyasasha Sri Gandharva Shivagovinda Prestalevi Sevyamano Smarami Sriman Rasa Rasamrande Vangsivata Tata Sita Karshan Venu Gopinatha Shri Suna Vrinayaya Chamansadevai Vyayai Keshavasricha Krishna Bhakti Pradide Satyavachai Namo Namaha Atanatva Manta Gurun Bhagavatartana Vyasan Jagat Gurunata Tato Jayam Mudiyadaya Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Varanga Garva Govinda Sundar Arapadmanam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Go Premanandi, Hare Hare. Jai Aditinanda Prabhu, Hare Bo.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Puri Maharaja ki jai.
Jai. And what happened? Shanta Maharaj left. Had to leave. Huh? And Uma Devi is not here. You want to? All right. Krishna Kesava wants to sing.
Yes, very much.
Yasavati Nandan, page 16.
Página 16, Yasomatinandana.
16 page? I don't know. Oh, yeah, that. Page, yeah, page
16.
That's page 16?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yasomati Nandana Vrajavaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasomati Nandana
Nandana
Nagara Gokula Nandana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Dhamana Vidhana
Gopi
Paranadana
Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damona Vidana
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vamsi Vadana Subhasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarava Vamsi Vadana Suvasa
Rajajana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godhana Rakoyala
Rajajana Palana Surakurana Sana Nanda Godana Rakoyala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vashana Hara Rasi Rasika Kripa Moya
Yamuna Tatachara Vivasanahara Rasara Sika Kripa Moya
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nathavara Bhakati Vinora Shraya
Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Akati Vinora Shraya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Jai Gurudev.
Hare.
Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Okay.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
And let's see. Shamagori, I think you feel like to sing something today.
Sorry, Maharaj, can you repeat?
I think Shamagori would like to sing a bhajan today.
Você gostaria de cantar bhajan hoje?
Yes. Jaya Sat-cit-ananda.
Okay.
Continues.
Where?
16, 17,
Oh,
sorry, 17.
Okay, okay.
17.
Jaya Sat-cit-ananda Suramuni Vandana Babaya Chandana Jayo He.
Jai Sachinandana Suramuni Vandana Babaya Chandana Jaya.
Jaya Hari Kirtana Natana Vatana Kalimala Kartana Jayo He.
Jaya Hari Kirtana Kalimala Kartana Jaya.
Nayana Purandara Vishvarupa Snedahara Vishvambara Vishvera Kalyana.
Nayana Purandara Vishvarupa Snehadara Vishvambara Vishvera Kalyana.
Jaya Lakshmi Vishnu Priya Vishvambara Priya Hiya Jaya Priya Kinkara Isana.
Jaya Lakshmi Vishnu Priya Vishvambara Priya Hiya Jaya Priya Kinkara Shana.
Sita Dvaitarai Malini Srivasa Jaya Jaya Sandra Shekhara Acharya.
Shri Sita Dvaita Roy Malini Srivasa Jaya Jaya Chandra Shekhara.
Jaya Nityanandarai Gadadara Jai Jai Jaya Hari Dasana Macharya.
Jaya Nityananda Roy Gadadhara Jaya Jaya Jai Hari Dasanamacharya.
Murari Mukunda Jaya Premaniji Mahashaya Jai Jata Prabhu Parishada.
Morari Makanda Premanidhi Mahashaya Jayata Prabhupada
Vanji Savakara Poya de Mere Kripa Hoya Bhakti Saprasada Prabhupada.
Vandisabakaro
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya
Gurudeva, Jaya
Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev.
Gurudev, Gurudev.
Gora Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Then Shanta Maharaj, were you willing to chant one bhajan then for us? Maharaj?
Yes, Maharaj, can you hear me?
Ah, yes. Okay.
Anything, Maharaj, specifically you want, Maharaj?
Anything that your heart desires. And this book.
O que seu coração quiser.
Does Aditi Nandan know what we're doing? What we're chanting from the Pocket Kirtan Guide?
Aditinanda, tú sabes que nosotros estamos leyendo del Kirtan Guide pequeño. Si tú tienes el libro allá.
No escucho.
Nosotros estamos cantando del Kirtan Guide pequeño, del libro de Kirtan pequeño, para que tú salves la página. ¿Tú tienes allá, no?
I will not able to
No.
open the Kirtan Guide.
Me acuerdo las canciones así por partecitas, las
Bueno.
canciones. El bandana que cantaron al principio, más o menos me lo sé, pero las canciones sí, no me las sé todas.
Bueno, okay, yo voy a traducir. He said that he does not have the book there, but he knows some
By heart.
but so yes, some songs by heart,
You have
as
it,
the
yeah?
one, for example.
Yes, but he's using his phone. It might not be.
Oh,
Maharaj, 59 page.
page 59. 59?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. 59?
59.
59.
Yes.
That's 58, no?
50? No, 59.
59.
Thakura Vaishnava Gan.
Oh, okay.
Thakura Vaishnava Gana.
Shall I start, Maharaj?
1 minute, we're trying to get on PDF too. Aditi Nandan Prabhu.
And it.
Están intentando encontrar un archivo PDF con las canciones para te enviar.
I sent it, Maharaj, to the
Are you
chat.
sending?
Que tú
Chat.
puedes ya.
Okay.
Tú puedes encontrar el
Sí,
link
me
en el
pueden-
chat de Zoom.
Si me pueden
Page
enviar
number.
donde aparecen las fechas de Cadasi. De
Shall
Cadasi.
I share the screen?
No, I
Cadasi.
think everyone has the book. No, not necessary. Okay.
Porque me eliminaron del grupo que yo tenía aquí en Caracas. Me eliminaron del grupo de aquí de WhatsApp. Entonces ahí me ponían las informaciones de cuándo era el Cadasi, pero de ahora no. Es del grupo acá de Panamá Caruna que me eliminó.
Ok, Prabhu, ¿tú tienes cómo accesar la canción allá, no?
No.
Bueno, Maharaj, it's possible to share the screen. Aditinanda is in the cell phone, so he cannot open.
Oh, okay.
It will
All
be
right.
nice if possible.
Yes.
Can you enable the screen sharing, Krishna Kesava Prabhu?
Vamos compartir a tela con la canción allá, Prabhu, para que tú leas junto.
And see, Adityananda.
¿Llegó, Prabhu? ¿Puede mirar la canción allá?
Sí.
Yes.
Akura Vaishnava Gana Koriye Nivedana.
Akora Vaishnava Gana Oriye Nivedana
Mubada Dhamadura Chara.
Mobada Dhamma Durachara
Aruna Samsaro Nidhi Tahe Dubai Lo Vidhi.
Daruna Samsara Tahe Dubai
Kese dhare more karo paro.
Ise Dare More Parapara
Tidhi pada balavano nasune dharma jnano.
Viva Balavan Nasunedara
Sadai karama pase bande.
Sadai Karama Asivande
Na dekhi taran lesa jata dekhi sab klesa.
Na Dekhi Taranale Yati Dekhi Sabha
अनाथ कातरे तेनी कांदे.
Anatha Katari
काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद अभिमान सह.
Madhabhimanasa
आपन आपन स्थाने टाने.
Apana Panasani
ওই ছন আমার মন ফিরে যেন অন্ধ জন.
Aishana Mana Hirayena Andhajana
সুপথ বিপথ নাহি জানে.
Supata Patana
নালইনু সত মত অসতে মাঝিল চিত.
Nalaina Katamata Asate Majirachita
তুয়া পায়ে না করিনু আস.
Tuya Painariru Asa
নরোত্তম বড় দাসে কহে দেখি শুনি লাগে ভয়.
Narottamata Sekaya Deki Sunilake Maya
তরাইয়া লহ নিজ পাশ.
Araya Laha
নরোত্তম দাসে কয় দেখি শুনি লাগে ভয়. তরাইয়া লহ নিজ পাশ. Dayal Vaishnava Thakur, Dayal Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Dayal Vaishnava Thakur.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Dayal Vaishnav Thakur, Dayal Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Dayal Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jai. Oma Devi,
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Sorry,
Can you-
Maharaj, just I came from home.
can you sing or you're at home?
Yeah, I can see.
You can sing. Okay. I know when you're at work, you don't like to sing, but
Yeah, no, just I come from, I work from.
okay.
Yeah. Which one I want to sing, Maharaj?
What one do you like?
I can sing page number 113. Gauranga Balite Abhi Pulaka Sarira.
Okay, 113.
Yeah.
113.
And what is it? 103 or 113?
113, Maharaj.
113.
Gauranga Balite Abhi Pulaka Sarira.
Okay.
Okay, Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj.
112.
Gauranga Bolite Habi Pulaka Sarira.
Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarira.
Hari Hari Bolite na Yena wa Benira.
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Avenira.
Gauranga Bolite Habi Pulaka Sarira.
Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarira.
Hari Hari Bolite Naye Vai Benira.
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Avenira.
Arakabe Nitya Chanda Karuna Karibe.
Karuna Karibe.
Samsara Vasana More Kabi Tu Chahabe.
Samsara Vasana More Abe Tu Chahabe.
Gauranga Bolite Habi Pulaka Sarira.
Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarira.
Hari Hari Bolite Naya Neva Binira.
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Avenira.
Nishaya Chadibe Kabi Sudaha Bimana. Abhi Hamahari Be Sri Vrindavana.
Abe Kami Hari Vrindavana.
Gauranga Bolite Habi Pulaka Sarira.
Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarira.
हरि हरि बोलिते ना ये नाव बिनीरा
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Avenira.
कृपार गुणता पदे अहि बेहकोती
Ruparagonata Pade Vaideyakuti.
कभी हम बोझे बसे युगला प्रीति
Kabe Hama Bhava Yugala Piriti.
कृपार गुणता पदे अहि बेहकोती
Ruparagonata Pade Rahumora.
हम बोझ बसे युगला प्रीति
Kabe Hamo Bhava Yugala Piriti.
गौरंग बोलिते हबी पुलक शरीरा
Bolite Habe Ulake Sharira.
हरि हरि बोलिते ना ये नावा बिनीरा
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane
कृपार गुणता पदे रहु मोरहासा
Ruparagonata Pade Rahumorasa.
अर्तना करिए सदा नरोत्तम दासा
Artana Kareya Sada Narotamodasa.
कृपार गुणता पदे रहु मोरहासा
Ruparagonata Pade Rahumorasa.
प्रार्थना करिए सदा नरोत्तम दासा
Artana Kare Sada Narotamodasa.
गौरंग बोलिते हबी पुलक शरीरा
Bolite Habe Ulaka Sharira.
हरि हरि बोलिते ना येने विनीरा
Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Avenira.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai, thank you, Devi ki jai. Dhanyavad, Swamiya Sindhu Prabhu, you came without our seeing you. And Hariyananda Prabhu, what would you like to chant?
O que le gustaría de cantar, Hariyananda?
Del cancionero pequeño, la número 11.
11 in the small book. Jai Guru Maharaj, Prabhu.
Page 11.
¿Sí? Del grande la 11. ¿no?
Sí, Jai Guru Maharaj Jatirajeshwara.
Maharaj,
11.
I am taking rest now. I'm feeling a little tired.
Yes, Maharaj. You're doing so much work.
Maharaj.
My Dhanyavad, yeah.
Dhanyavad Maharaj.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
Jai Bhakti Nishkam Santa Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivraj Jai Vishnu Bhakti Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Evil.
Santa Maharaj, you gone?
He's gone. Missed him. You're too late.
Okay, that's okay. Quite often happens.
What do you want to say?
No, I just want to say how absolutely wonderful it is to see him and his continuing effort and energy and so on. It is just marvelously inspiring. I offer full Dhanyavad to Santa Maharaj. John. No more intrusion from me.
Then Hariyananda Prabhu, what do you want to say?
Jaya Guru Maharaja Tiraheshwara Sirvakati Rasadeva Goswami Sridhara.
Jaya Guru Maharaja Tiraheshwara Sirvakti Rakshak Goswami Sridhara.
Patita Pavana Lila Vistari Bhuvane Nitarila Dinahina Aparajane.
Patita Pavana Lila Vistari Bhuvane Nitarila Dinahina Aparajane.
Tomara Karuna Gana Murati Herija Premega Javana Jiva Pade Murachiya.
Tomara Karuna Gana Murachiya. Surdiga Supiva Deha Dija Varasraya Dija Jana Dita Netra Dija Yortimaya. Sudhirga Deha Dija Bhavasaya Divyane Dita Netra Divya Jyotirmaya.
Survana Suraya Konti Aruna Vasana Tilaka Tulasi Mala Chandana Bhusana.
Suvana Suraja
Aruna Vasana
Tilaka Tulasi Mala Chandana Bhusana.
Apurva Siranga Soha Kare Jala Mala Aduja Jaunata Baba Marduja Dujala.
Apurva
Apurva
Shivana Shobha
Shivana
Kare
Jaya
Saundarya Madhurya
Ujjwala
Achinta pativa snida gambira udara jada jana giri vraya dija diradara.
Achinta Pratibha Sindha Gambira Udara Jada Jana Giri Sadara
Gaura Sankirtana Rasa Rasa Re Ashraya Dajala Nitai Name Nitya Prema Maya.
Gaura Sankirtana Rasa Rasera Raya Dayala Nitaya
Sango Pange Gaura Dame Nitya Parakasa Gutta Govardhane Dija Lila Ravilasa.
Sango Pange Gaura Dhamma Nitya Parasa Gupta Govardhane Divya Lila Vilasa
Gaudija Achara Gosti Gaura Baba Bhajana Gaudija Siddhanta Mani Kanta Vibhusana.
Gaudiya Acharya Gosti Gaura Baba Jana Gaudiya Siddhanta
Gaura Sarasvati Spurta Siddhantera Kani Avirtita Gayatri Ra Artha Chintamani.
Gaura Saraswati Sutta Siddhartha Kahani Aviksara Gayatri Artha
Ekatadva Varnane Te Nityan Baba Susangati Samajaja Esava Prabhava.
Ekatvarnate Nitya Nama Bhava Sangati Samajaya Sabha Prabhava
Tomara Sartita Varga Sabe Ekamate Rupa Saraswati Dara de Kena Tomate.
Tomara Satita Varga Sabe Ekamate Rupa Saraswati Dara Dekena Tomate
Tulasi Malika Haste Sirna Magrahana Deki Sakalera Hoy Prabhu Udipana.
Tulasi Malika Krishna Maharaja Deki Sakalera Hayana
Koti Chandra Susita Lo Palavarasa Gandharva Govinda Lila Rita Lasa Asa.
Koti Chandra Susitala Padavarasa Gandharva Govinda Lila Mrutavasa
Avishintya Veda Veda Siddhanti Prakasho Sanande Arati Stuti Kare Dinadasa.
Avishya Veda Veda Visiddhanta Prakasa Sanande Harati
Jaya Guru Maharaja Jaya Guru Maharaja Jaya Guru Maharaja Jaya Guru Maharaja.
Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj
Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Guru Maharaj ki.
Well, what time? 2:40. I think we'll leave some time now for reading the Prapanna Jivanamrita So we can spend a little time with that. Everyone have that book? Prapanna Jivanamrita? So is that book available in Spanish?
It is. We have it online too. We have it online.
¿Hay Sri Prapanna Jivanamrita en español, Prabhu? ¿Se tiene disponible?
Sí, aquí lo tengo, en español.
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Should I share it in Spanish here?
Does anyone need Editi Nandan? Do you have Prapanna Jivanamrita?
¿Tú tienes el libro, Prabhu, Prapanna Jivanamrita, Prabhu? ¿Tú tienes el libro Prapanna Jivanamrita, Prabhu?
Aditananda, es contigo. Te están preguntando que si tienes el libro.
Sound is off.
You're muted.
Está mutado, Prabhu.
Mutado.
Todavía mutado, Prabhu. Todavía no podemos escuchar.
Now I can hear you.
Ya.
No, el libro del Kirtan lo acabo de descargar.
Hay otro libro que se llama Prapanna Jivanamrita. ¿Tú tienes? Creo que es un verde.
No lo tengo.
No, he does not have, Prabhu.
Yo no tengo, no have, huh?
Yes.
They're putting up a link.
Aditinanda. Krishna Kesava Prabhu puso el link allá en chat. Tú puedes bajar el libro.
Bueno, ya voy a ver.
Jai, Dhanavad.
Thank you.
De nada, Prabhu.
So in that book, we have reached chapter 6. Sri Bhakta Vachanamritam, the words of nectar from the devotees. Bhakta Vachanamrita. Vacha means words. Amritam, the nectarian words of the bhaktas.
Así está en el capítulo 6.
Dice que está cargando, ya está cargando.
Ok, Jai, Prabhu.
And one of the limbs of surrender, there are 6 limbs. One of them is called Goptritve Varanam. Goptritve Varanam means embracing the Lord's guardianship. This chapter is going to be on this topic. Goptritve Varanam means accepting the Lord as your guardian or protector. One of the principles of surrender is to accept the Lord as your guardian. You don't rely on anyone but Krishna. Of course, Guru Dev and Vaishnavas are included in Krishna. Page 92. Text 1 and 2 are together. Page 92. And then text 1 and 2 together. You want to read? That's it.
Hey Krishna. Hey Krishna pahi mannata kripayatma gatam kuru ityevam prarthanam Krishnam prabdhum swami svarupata goptritvevaranam geyam bhaktar sarjataram param prapatye kartakatvena tarangidvena tatsmrutam.
Well, they have the Spanish. So in English, it means, Oh Krishna, please protect me. My dear Lord, kindly accept me as your own. Such a prayer, as well as the prayer to obtain Sri Krishna as one's Lord and Master, is a supreme solace to the hearts of the pure devotees and is known by them as Goptritve Varanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship, because it expresses one and the same ideal as unconditional surrender. Goptritve Varanam is accepted as the chief of the 6 limbs of surrender. What does this mean practically? Can anyone tell? What is the practical meaning of this?
¿Alguien puede decir cuál es el significado práctico de eso?
Accepting the Lord as one's guardian.
Dandava, Prana. Siento que allí Gopi Ver Varaná, aceptar al Señor como guardián, no solamente significa que yo estoy pidiéndole al Señor que me proteja, porque en realidad no debemos estarle pidiendo nada al Señor ni usarlo a nuestro beneficio. Allí más bien lo que estoy intentando hacer es que lo acepto a Él como el amo y yo soy el sirviente. Y simplemente voy a intentar de postrarme enteramente a Él. Por lo tanto, eso también es una de las cualidades de las cualidades del Saranagati, de la rendición. O sea, rendirme, o sea, aceptarlo a Él como el todo, como el amo. Yo soy un perro sirviente o ni siquiera sirviente, intentando servir. Entonces, así más o menos entiendo ese verso.
I can't hear you. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
No, yes, I was muted, sorry. He said that what I understand here, that word guardian does not mean that he will protect me. I should not try to use Lord Krishna to my benefit, but I should understand that he is my Lord, and I am just trying to be his servant, and that I want to be in his feet eternally. This is one of the qualities of Saranagati. I should accept him as my Lord, and I should be like a dog to him. I'm not even his servant because I do not have quality to become his servant. I'm the most fallen one.
Okay. This is the most important, considered the chief, or the most important of the 6 limbs of surrender. This is the most important, the chief one. And what it really means, not only protector, but guardianship. Guru Sridhara interprets it as guardian, my guardian. I accept the Lord as my guardian. Means what? I accept Gurudev. Surrender to Guru. I accept his guidance in my life. Guru is guiding me, and I accept that. That is the chief principle of surrender. Without that, your surrender cannot be called surrender. So yes, those feelings that you mentioned are there. Proper conception is to have those feelings, but it is practically manifest in our surrender to Guru. Anyone can say, I'm surrendered to Krishna. But one who actually takes shelter of Guru, that is surrender. That is surrender to Krishna. One time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told that by that surrender to Krishna, when we surrender to Krishna, that is the meaning of going back home, back to Godhead. He told like that. Complete surrender to Guru, that is the meaning of going back to home, back to Godhead. Not just something in your mind. Oh yes, I'm surrendered to Krishna. No. Anyone can say. But who actually surrenders to Guru? That is accepting the Lord as your guardian. Acharya mam vijaniyat. Acharya mam in Sanskrit, Acharya mam vijan. Know that I am the Guru, Krishna tells us. I am the Guru. Don't think I am coming to you as an ordinary man. No, I am choosing this man as my representative, in which I am teaching you how to come to me. Guru means Krishna is coming and teaching you how to come back to him. If you can't surrender to Guru, how are you going to surrender to Krishna? That is surrender to Krishna. He is direct. Our contact with the infinite is through Guru. If we can understand that, then we can understand the meaning of going back to God in a practical way, not just a mental idea. People who say, I am surrendered to Krishna, means they are taking their own mind as Krishna. But my mind tells me I am surrendered to that. That's surrender to your own mind and not surrender to Krishna. There's not even surrender. Everyone is following their own mind. Everyone thinks they are God. As I am surrendered to Krishna, how great a devotee I am. Huh? Yes. Everyone is thinking that so-called devotee. Surrender to Krishna means surrender to Gurudev. Full surrender, full faith. That is accepting the Lord as your guardian. The Lord comes to you to guide you. The guardian means guide, who guides you to himself. How else is he going to communicate with you? He is infinite, you are finite. That connection between the infinite and the finite comes in the form of Gurudev. That is his grace, his mercy. This is Vedic culture. This is Vedic knowledge. And not some abstract philosophy. Direct, practical, personal. Real life, real spiritual life, not some idea. Anyhow, this is the meaning of Gopritve Varana. To accept the guidance, to live under the guidance or guardianship of Guru. You are my guardian. I give myself to you. My parents, this, that, the other thing, they are not my guardians, my real guardians. My real guardians is my Gurudev. Is everything to me. All other are abandoned for the guardianship of and the guardianship of Guru. I am not capable of taking care of myself. I need a guardian in my life. You know, sometimes when someone maybe have some challenge and to be challenged mentally or otherwise challenged, they have to have a guardian. Or when a child is there, he can't take care of himself. He needs a guardian. If parents are not available, he needs a guardian. We are like that. We are like these abandoned children. We have no one to guide us in that direction of Krishna. So we have to take the guidance of Guru. We need that. Don't think we can act independently. That is the disease. The disease of the material life means I am separate. I have a separate interest. I have an independent existence. That's the whole mania. Sridhara calls it the mania. Mania means like insanity. That's the whole insanity that we have, the suffering under. I am independent. We need a guardian. How will we travel in the infinite plane? How will we find our way there? What will we do? We're dealing with all finite things in this world that we can deal with. We are finite. The other things are finite. We can deal with that. That's what's called relative existence. But when we come to deal with the infinite, what do we do? We need a guardian. We need a guide there. That is Gurudev, and that is faith. To enter this infinite plane, we need faith. Faith is the only thing that will give us some direction. Otherwise, we have no idea what direction to go in. That is what the infinite means. We are not equipped to deal with the infinite on our own. That equipment is given to us in this world. Mind, intelligence, all those things, ahankar. They are giving us guidance in this world. But in that world, we can't rely on any of those because they are meant for finite existence only. So there we have to have someone to lead us. Just as a man may be lost in the forest, a gigantic forest. Someone may be in the forest and he gets lost. Then what he will do? What do you know? Go this way, north, south, east, west. You don't even know the direction because the trees are covering the sun, everything. There's only darkness. And then which way to go to get out from the forest? How do we know? How will we ever do that? If somebody comes along and says, oh, I know this forest, come with me. Then we can find our way easily if we follow them. And if we say, no, I want to do it myself, we may never leave. So this is the prime principle of Sharanagati. The prime limb, the chief limb, to accept the guardianship, the guidance of Krishna in the form of Gurudev. This is the practical. The practical method of Veda has given us on how to come to the eternal infinite world. Understand? The doorway to the spiritual world, to the infinite world, is through Sharanagati. If you have the material world one place, spiritual world another place, they are not disconnected. There's a connection, but there's a doorway from the material world to the spiritual. That doorway is called Sharanagati. Without surrender, there is no such thing as spiritual life. They are still in the material world. They call the Viroja. You know, the Viroja River, it separates the material and spiritual worlds. It separates the Karnadakshay ocean from the Vaikuntha planets. That line, crossing that line is Sharanagati, the doorway. Huh?
I think Amiya doesn't know Sharanagati.
Sharanagati means surrender. Surrender is the doorway. Without surrender, we don't cross from this world to that world. This world is exploitation. The material world, exploitation. There, dedication. In the middle, renunciation. Until the Viroja River means renunciation. Until we cross the Viroja River, until we leave this exploitation world to enter the river of renunciation, and then over that river, we come to Vaikuntha world. Sharanagati has the door is standing there. For those who surrender, they can enter through that door. Otherwise, you can't cross the threshold. You know, the threshold on the bottom of the door is called threshold. You can't cross that threshold unless there is Sharanagati. Sridhara has always taught the whole spiritual world is resting on Sharanagati, on surrender. There is no spiritual world without that foundation. Must be there. And our means of surrender is Gurudev. Means surrender to Gurudev means I don't follow my own mind. I don't take my mind as God and my director, my guardian, my intelligence, whatever it may be. I don't consider that a good guardian. They're always getting me in trouble, rather, and leading in the wrong direction. I don't follow those. I follow what Gurudev tells, his direction, his guidance. And there we have the first real symptom of surrender. Necessary. I don't think we can skip that point. We can't go over that. It starts with that. And that is Vedic culture. It is Vedic knowledge, Vedic wisdom, teaching this. Must pay attention and understand that properly. Very important, chief point of understanding the whole spiritual life begins there. Okay. Of course, there's so many other things Sridhara has explained in this book, but this is also a very important point. That's why he says the chief of the 6 limbs of surrender. Any question?
One moment, Maharaja, I'm translating to Haryananda. I will finish. One moment, please.
Okay.
Minutes.
Okay.
The word go is there. It sounds like either cows or senses. Was bringing up Aldous Huxley. Something Aldous Huxley said about heaven and hell, a door between. Aldous Huxley probably didn't know about Sharanagati. Is the word go Catholic?
Okay. This being translated for Aditi Nandan too, or do you know English?
I'm translating Maharaj by WhatsApp, so I do not make so much noise here. You think that is problem that I can translate here in the Zoom?
That's what he said.
Asking if there's, if you would like to translate live, this way Nityananda can also hear.
Oh, yes, you can do.
Así es, Nityananda. El maestro espiritual, el Señor Krishna se manifiesta como el maestro espiritual. Y a ganar a guarda del Señor Krishna significa yo estoy siguiendo la guarda del maestro espiritual. Yo soy finito, él es infinito. Este conocimiento es lo conocimiento védico, es algo práctico, pessoal y real. No es una filosofía abstracta, es la verdadera vida espiritual. Yo no soy capaz de tomar cuenta de mí mismo. Necesito de un guardián. Cuando hay un desafío mental a una persona o hay un niño, ellos necesitan de un guardián. Nosotros somos así, somos como niños abandonados. No tenemos a nadie para nos guiar en la dirección de Krishna. Por eso necesitamos de la guía del maestro, del guru. El pensamiento que yo soy independiente, yo que soy separado, si la Sridhara Maharaja llamaba eso de la manía, algo como una insanidad. ¿Cómo que nosotros podemos llegar hasta el plano del infinito? Nosotros solamente somos hechos para lidar con cosas finitas. Nos podemos lidar con esta existencia relativa, pero cuando estamos hablando del infinito, ¿o qué podemos hacer? Necesitamos de un guía, un guru y tener fe. O sea, para entrar en el plano del infinito necesitamos de fe. Nosotros tenemos la inteligencia, la mente ahankara, eso puede nos ayudar acá para el mundo material, pero esas cosas no pueden nos ayudar allá. Es como si se queda ahí una selva, una floresta, donde se está perdido allá, es muy grande, muy larga. Tú no sabes dónde norte, sur, este, oeste. Los árboles están cubriendo sol. ¿Cómo tú haces para salir de allá? Solo tú no puedes hacerlo. Tú necesitas que alguien venga, un guía que conoce bien la selva, la floresta, y habla, mira, es por acá. Este es el principio de Saranagati. Hay una distinción que separa el mundo trascendental de Vaikunta del mundo material, que se llama Varodya. Eso que separa Karanodakashaya de los planetas Vaikuntas. Esa línea es Saranagati. En el mundo trascendental hay rendición, acá hay exploración. En el medio del camino hay la renuncia. Nosotros precisamos cruzar ese río para llegar hasta allá. Saranagati, Srila Maharaja acostumbraba decir, que es donde se reposa todo el mundo trascendental. Así tenemos que tener rendición hasta Gurudeva. No tengo que seguir mi mente. Yo considero mi maestro como mi guardián. Yo me considero a él solo como mi guardián. Yo no sigo lo que mi mente está diciendo. Este es el primer síntoma que tenemos que tener. Y no podemos escapar de eso. Eso es la base, es la cultura védica, es el conocimiento védico. Tenemos que prestar atención en eso. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. Very nice.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Una pregunta. Cuando el gran filósofo Hegel hablaba o acuñó o hablaba de la frase morir para vivir, se podría también entender que es una forma también de Saranagati, claro, dicho por un filósofo occidental. No el concepto igual, pero algo de eso hay, o sea, morir a las viejas concepciones, a morir al apego a la mente, a las ideas, morir a todo eso que no es apropiado y vivir para el servicio. Podría un poco también significar ese morir para vivir de Hegel como cercano un poco al concepto de Saranagati, ¿o no?
Maharaj, when Hegel said this famous word, this phrase, die to life, could we understand that in a Western way of Saranagati? Because of course it's spoken by a Western philosopher. So you should get out this kind of mind attachment from wrong concepts. So could we say that die to life is a form of Saranagati, Maharaj?
Because in Hegel's conception, you are not you. You are other than yourself. In Hegel's idea, you are other. You think yourself, but yourself is other than you. And when you understand that, then you have died. But you don't die, you live. So for us, our other is Gurudev. He is other than us. But you are there also. In Gurudev, you are also present. Your real identity is found in Gurudev because Gurudev is representative of Krishna. So by accepting yourself as Krishna's or Gurudev's, belonging to them, possessed by them, you are dying to your self identity and living to your true identity. Guru and Krishna. You'll make your identity identical with the will of Guru. When Sridhara, Govinda Maharaj came to Sridhara Maharaj, they told him that what? He said, are you willing to listen to me and not your mind? In other words, are you willing to make your mind one with my mind? That your mind is my mind is your mind. Not to take your mind as yourself and your own self. That's dying. Die to live. It means to follow. You agree to follow the order, the will of Guru, and not your own. You take it as your own. Not that you need your own mind. You are willing to give that business over to Gurudev. Something like that.
And one moment, Maharaj, just translate. Así la concepción de Hegel es que tú no eres tú, tienes una identidad distinta en realidad. Tú piensas que eres tú, porém hay otro distinto. Y cuando tú comprendes eso, entonces tú murió. Entonces tú mueres, pero cuando muere así, en realidad está viviendo. Para nosotros, este otro yo es Gurudeva. Él es el otro o yo que está también con nosotros. Nuestra verdadera identidad se está ya con Gurudev. Aceitar como perteneciendo al Guru y a Krishna, así es desmover a nuestra falsa identidad y aceptar nuestra verdadera identidad. Hacer que nuestro deseo sea lo mismo del maestro, del Guru. Cuando Srila Govinda Maharaj llegó hasta Srila Sridhara Maharaj preguntó, ¿tú estás dispuesto de hacer lo que yo quiero y no lo que tu mente quiere? O sea, ¿tú estás dispuesto a hacer que nuestras mentes sean como una? Eso es morir para vivir. Concordar en seguir las órdenes del maestro, los deseos del maestro. Tomar como algo suyo, así.
Always, many times, Sridhar Maharaj mentioned that when you see some defect in the world, it really means your defect. When you see some defect outside, it merely means your defect. So the idea here is to accept that what is outside of you, what you know outside of you, is really inside of you. So there, what is outside of us, we think is not me. But no, that's also you. That's really you. Something like that. What is outside is not outside. We are thinking like that. But inside it must be there. Otherwise, how do you think it? I tell, sometimes the scientists ask me, how can the subject and object, how can we study the subject? We are studying objects. How can we study the subject? Where does that come in? And I tell them, the object is what the subject knows it to be. And you understand that? The object is what the subject knows it to be. Scientist looks at a table.
Dhanyavad Maharaj. Dhanyavad Maharaj, sorry for interrupting you. The subject Please repeat very slowly, Maharaj, please. The subject knows.
The object is what the subject knows it to be, knows it as. Just like scientist looks at a table. When he looks at a table, he sees there's some electrons there. No? His understanding of the table is that it's made of electrons. An ordinary person looks at a table, they see this is a place where I'm going to have my meal. Scientists may also see that, but he also sees in more deeply that it's also electrons. Of course, that's the way he thinks, the way he's been trained to see things. Ordinary person has not been trained in that way. May understand it in that way, you may understand it in a different way, but it's the same object. So, but if the scientist sees it in that way as electrons, it means that is the way he has been trained. And now another person may be artist, and they see a work of art, whether it's good art or not, they can tell by their training. What is this good work of art or what is not an ordinary piece of painting? Because they've been trained, they can see the details that an ordinary person can't see in the artwork. They can appreciate it at a different level than an ordinary person because they've been trained. So what you are seeing, what you are knowing about the object is depending on you, not the object. And that object is taking on what you know about it. Takes that form. So subject and object are not divorced, are not separate from one another. They're included. They're integral to one another. So by taking shelter of Guru, you are making yourself, you are recognizing yourself in the Guru also. Is your purity, your sincerity. You will see that. What I impress when I come to Guru, the thing that impresses me most is his commitment, his confidence in what he knows, his confidence in what he sees and I can't see. And I want to get that confidence myself into what he is saying, that faith, that complete knowledge, more than faith. He has some type of transcendental knowledge. And when we become initiated, that knowledge is, we are getting that, Divya Gyan. Initiation means to receive that, he made it, that Divya Gyan, that transcendental knowledge becomes available to us, that he has. And that is the real initiation. When we are receiving that knowledge, Divya Gyan, that's the real initiation. If we are getting that, we have become initiated. Not just this teacher, student, learning some subject matter. Hare Krishna. So, and I'm trying to present something in a humble way. I always think of different things than other people do. I guess I don't know.
Maharaj, may I translate one moment?
What is it?
Can I translate?
Oh yes, Mahaprabhu, I'm sorry.
No, Maharaj, no. Así Srila Sridhara Maharaj costumbraba hablar, que si tú miras un defecto, una cosa mala en algo, tú estás mirando fuera porque eso es un reflexo del interno. Está fuera porque está dentro de tú. Entonces, se ensina cuál es lo verdadero yo, cuál es la verdad. Aquello que está fuera, en realidad, no está fuera. Nosotros pensamos así. Pero para que mirarmos, podemos mirar e identificar una cosa fuera, eso tiene que estar dentro de nosotros. Así, muchos científicos me preguntan, ¿cómo que yo puedo estudiar el sujeto, no el objeto? Entonces, yo siempre respondo, el objeto es aquello que el sujeto conoce que es. Por ejemplo, quando um científico mira uma mesa, qualquer coisa, ele mira muitos pontos de elétrons. Enquanto quando uma pessoa ordinária mira isso, pensa, não, a mesa é o lugar onde pongo alimento, pongo comida. Assim, os científicos podem mirar de uma visão distinta, mais profunda neste sentido, pois assim foi treinado a hacerlo. É distinto de uma pessoa ordinária que vai mirar de outra maneira. Assim, a pessoa pode mirar de la maneira que se foi treinada. Por exemplo, o artista pode apreciar o arte de um nível diferente de uma pessoa ordinária, porque tuve um treinamento para isso. Así, hay una unión entre sujeto y el objeto. Son incluso integrados uno el otro. Por tomar abrigo con el guru, tú se puedes reconocer en el guru. Y eso se sucede. Cuando yo llegué al maestro espiritual, lo que me impresionó más fue la confianza que tenía, la fe que tenía, lo tipo de conocimiento trascendental que tenía. Ese es el conocimiento que recibimos cuando ganamos iniciación. Lo verdadero significado de iniciación es cuando este conocimiento nosotros recebemos. Eso que significa tomar iniciación. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. You are doing such a wonderful service to help the devotees understand. Anyhow,
Joy.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Anyhow, I'm telling you all these things and I am actually preaching to myself. So I have a very fallen soul. And these things is very, very important to understand. And I am remembering them all while I'm telling you also. I was thinking there's this one person, one lady, who is always quoting verses, words from Srila Sridhara Maharaj, posting these things, these words of Srila Sridhara Maharaj. But then I see she is also criticizing very harshly Santa Maharaj, other devotees. And I'm thinking, how can the words that she is preaching and this kind of offensive thoughts and ideas to the devotees, how is that compatible? If one offends a Vaishnava, then all their so-called devotional life is finished, destroyed, has no meaning. Whatever they may be saying, quoting, like some kind of sage, they think they are on the same, they quote Sridhar Maharaj, they think they are on the same level. No, Sridhar Maharaj would never criticize any Vaishnava. We see that also very nicely and brilliantly exhibited in Srila Govinda Maharaj. He was always telling, don't ever criticize the Vaishnava. And yet, those who are openly doing that as if no problem, and then preaching Srila Sridhar Maharaj's words, it's unbelievable to me that they can do that. They are not the Vaishnava, cannot give the real meaning of Sridhar Maharaj's words if they don't understand that fundamental principle. Srila Prabhupada once told, you listen to Bhagavatam from the improper person, it is like milk touched by the serpent, lips of the serpent. It has poisonous effect. It may be Bhagavatam, but because the improper person is telling us what the Bhagavatam says, it is like poison, not milk. The milk is the Bhagavatam, but the poison touched by the lips of the poisonous snake becomes poison, no? So we cannot accept those high-sounding words from Sridhar Maharaj coming from such persons. They're hypocrites, and they are not non-devotee. And what use is that? A hard thing to say, but this is the fact as I understand it. Anyhow, I'm just venting my feelings. Thank you, Papoose, for putting up with me.
Yes, Maharaj, I will translate. Así yo estoy hablando todas esas cosas, pero en realidad yo estoy predicando a mí mismo, porque son cosas tan importantes de comprender. Yo estaba me recordando hace un rato de una señora que siempre está citando versos de Srila Maharaj, está siempre postando palabras de Srila Maharaj, pero al mismo tiempo miro que se está haciendo mucha crítica, críticas muy fuertes y violentas contra muchos devotos de Shanta Maharaj. ¿Cómo puedo comprender que las palabras que esta señora están diciendo de Srila Maharaj están juntos, o que se está predicando? Cuando tú haces una ofensa al Vaishnava, entonces toda tu vida devocional está acabada, no tiene más significado. Muchas personas piensan que están en lo mismo nivel de Srila Maharaj. Srila Maharaj nunca criticó a nadie, a ningún Vaishnava. Y tú puedes mirar eso en el comportamiento de Srila Govinda Maharaj, que siempre hablaba para nunca se criticar un Vaishnava. Mesmo assim, estão predicando as palavras de Sridhara Maharaj. Pero estas pessoas não compreendem o fundamento disso. Srila Prabhupada dije una vez que escuchar el Bhagavatam de una persona errada es como la leche en la boca de la serpiente. Así, el leche es como el Bhagavatam, que es puro, pero cuando el labio de la serpiente encosta en él, se torna venenoso. Así, nosotros no aceptamos las palabras de Sridhara Maharaj de esas personas. Son hipócritas, no son devotos. Es una cosa difícil de decir, pero es que lo que yo estoy viendo. Así yo estoy manifestando mis sentimientos. Gracias a todos ustedes por quedaren acá.
Yeah. Always be very careful and always honor everyone, give honor to others, and then we can be safe from this very destructive element of aparad, becoming a pashandi or offender, and then our spiritual life will be genuine. Our endeavor to develop further and further in our spiritual life will be genuine, and we'll get the happiness that lies there in that world if we can observe that one simple principle also of not making offense to others. Please forgive me, my dandavats to all of you, and thank you for listening to me, encouraging me.
We translate, Maharaj. A short moment, please. Así es necesario tomar muy cuidado, honrar a todos para que nosotros quedamos a salvo de la parada. Así nuestra vida espiritual puede ser genuina y podremos desenvolver una vida espiritual, tener contacto en aquello que hay en el mundo trascendental. Gracias a todos ustedes por me dar esta coraje, ese esfuerzo y por me escuchar. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Mis dandavats.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Muchas gracias a usted, Maharaj, por su misericordia y de compartir sus conocimientos y enseñanzas con nosotros, y intentamos un poco seguir el ejemplo de ustedes. Y referente a lo que usted dice, Srila Acharya de él mismo, con su ejemplo, aunque él tenía opositores, nunca le vimos decir ni malas palabras, ni groserías, ni insultos, ni siquiera contra sus más férreos opositores. Entonces, y también Srila Acharya de lo glorificó a usted, a Shanta Maharaj. Incluso leí que incluso Srila Acharya de dijo que ustedes eran grandes almas que habían descendido de mundos superiores a enseñar. Entonces, no puede ser que Srila Acharya de esté equivocado con esas palabras que dijo, o si somos o intentamos ser algún discípulos algún día o seguidores de Srila Acharya de, ¿cómo entonces podemos proferir amenazas, palabras malas eso contradice todo la enseñanza de nuestros acharyas. Y yo supongo, Maharaj, que eso es porque ha habido mala prédica mucho tiempo y se ha creado una especie de dogmatismo, creer en verdades por creerlas, pero sin una verdadera base filosófica. Por eso es que Srila Prabhupada dijo, la religión sin ciencia, sin filosofía, la religión sin filosofía es fanatismo. Por eso hay que tener cuidado y no despreciar las enseñanzas filosóficas ni nada, y estar pendiente y escuchar atentamente a los santos, a los sadhus, porque nosotros no podemos hacer nada, no tenemos, nosotros el infinito no puede jamás, por mucho que se esfuerce, jamás va a llegar al infinito, pero el infinito sí puede descender y conectarse al finito, y la manera de conectarse el infinito con nosotros, los finitos, los mortales, es a través del guru. Incluso esa fe no es nuestra tampoco. Es más, somos tan caídos que no tenemos ni fe. El poco fe que podamos tener es porque nos las da de misericordia el maestro. Entonces, como dice el Maharaja, todas estas cosas tenemos que ser muy cuidadosos. Y le pido a mis hermanos espirituales del chat y que en los chats, en Facebook, no se caiga en tentación de agredir, de contestar mal, ni de groserías ni nada. Si te dicen perro en el chat, di sí, yo soy perro, soy más que un perro. Si eres malvado, sí, soy un malvado, soy un demonio, está bien, está bien. No caer en el juego de esas personas. Nosotros tenemos que estar enfocados en nuestros guardianes, en nuestros gurus y en la bondad de ellos. Y ese pedido también se lo quería hacer a mis hermanos espirituales. Dandava.
So, Maharaj, thank you so much by your mercy and to share your teachings with us. We try to follow your example. I remember also Shilacharya Maharaj. He had so much opposition, so much problems against him, but he never said any bad word, curse word about no one. He always was respectful, showing honor to everybody. And Shilacharya Maharaj always said about you also that you are a great soul that come from the spiritual world to us. So we, as followers of Acharya Maharaj, we should not go to this kind of bad word situation. And Maharaj, I think that this all happens because we have here some bad preaching for a long time, preaching that create dogmatism without philosophy. And as Prabhupada said, religion without philosophy is fanaticism. So we should try to give value and listen to our sadhus and saint devotees as you. We must try, we can try our best to get to Krishna, but only by his mercy we can get there. He is the infinite, he can give us. We are so fallen that not even our fate is ours, not even that. So thank you so much, Maharaj.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Chardev ki Jai.
Jai.
Namaveda Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Glories to the assembled devotees, glories to the worldwide devotees. Go Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol. Jai.
Jai Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Hey. Hello.
Arriba.